The second regret of the dying, I should have spent more time with my near and dear ones whom I loved, who loved me. The second regret of the dying. So now after hearing this, don't take your spouse and your children for granted. Okay. The third regret of the dying was, I should have lived a life of my choice and not the life what people expected of me. The other two, I leave it to you. Homework. You have fast network, yeah. So you can go on net, you can surf, and you can get what the other two regrets were. That are also very interesting. So maintain a proper work-life balance. You are not here to change anything in your profession or take all the load of your profession. Another good aspect of work-life balance when it comes to information and technology. There is no need to have all the information of all the things happening upon this earth. I think you have misunderstood me. For a company, it is a need because it is their business. I'm talking of you individuals. Your company needs all the information that is happening upon this earth because they are into it as a business. But you as an individual, in short, talking to you very practically, you must only know that Trump is the president of US and he won while against the Democrat candidate, presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton. What happened between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in Philadelphia, what happened in Florida, what happened in Los Angeles is not your job sitting here in Mumbai. Because what is sugar to a diabetic patient is loads of information to human mind. What is sugar to a diabetic patient is loads of information to human mind. You want to know everything that is happening in the woods, in the IPL and in Delhi. These three are the principal topics. First is woods. You know what is woods? Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, Hollywood. You want to know their stories. You open page 3. This destroys your work-life balance. You spend a lot of time into it. I tell you in one line what is happening on page 3 from the day it started to the day it will continue. In one line. So you don't need to spend too much time on it. Rather no time on it. All the page 3 stories have one thing in common, and the only one thing in common. Every morning 2 people come together, and every evening 2 people who had come together yesterday they part. This is page 3. Give me a story apart from this. Every morning 2 people come together. And every evening 2 people who had come together yesterday part. This is page 3. Restrict your loads of information on your mind. This is not unlimited GB, okay? Here also the GB is fixed. एक बार भर जाएगी ना ये सब information से, then you will lose creativity. You will lose spontaneity. You will lose the energy of expression. And when you lose this, you are a living dead. To maintain your creativity, to maintain your expression of ideas, to maintain the generation of constant energy for creating, for doing new, restrict yourself to your field and go deep into it. Do we ever expect Virat Kohli to play football and show his caliber there? He's showing his caliber at one place, and that is how he is. So take care of your desk. Don't peep into. Be a Virat Kohli. Go deep into your field, okay? And you are not expected even by the company to do your adjoining desk's job. This is how you maintain a work-life balance. And when you come back to your family on time, according to a Harvard study, 8 years of survey, in more than 110 countries, across 5 continents, across caste, creed, color, religion, nationality, in more than 100,000 homes across the span of the whole world. The principal question of survey was, what according to you is the greatest joy upon this earth? More than 67% of the respondents, they said, spending quality and quantity time with your near and dear ones, whom you love and who love you, is the greatest joy upon this earth. The greatest joy upon this earth is the joy of enjoying relationships. They say, 67% plus respondents, that it is bigger than the joy of satisfaction of completing your projects at your workplace, even after a long, successful career. They described that this was joy number 2. Joy number 1 is relationships, and joy number 2 is success at work. It is joy number 2, not joy number 1. We want both the joys of life, at workplace, achievements, and in relationships. So if you decide you can have a well-balanced life, if you go back home after 9:30 p.m., 4 of the 4 working days, or like the total working days that you have 24 or 25, whatever, 4 working days you are allowed after 9:30, another 4 you are allowed after 8:30. Rest of the days, if you go back to your family after 7:30 or 8, let me tell you, you are a very poor manager of time and work. And when you get back to your family, it is absolutely family time. Warren Buffett, the richest person upon this earth, $100 billion of investments, 63 companies under Berkshire Hathaway, which is the flagship company. More than 20 of them are Fortune 500. When the couple completed their 50 years of marriage, the 50 parties were arranged by the 63 CEOs on all surprise parties all over the world. And the concluding party was in London, well attended by more than 30 heads of states of Europe and American countries. A well dignified crowd. 30 heads of states sitting in the audience. Warren Buffett and his wife were sitting on the stage, and everybody were just given 1 minute to share their experiences with the couple or their foundation or working with them. It was a nice session for about 1.5 hours. Then somebody very intelligent, a Geo employee, was sitting in the audience. So he raised his hand and says, "Sir, can I ask you a very simple question?" And the couple goes, "Yes, feel free." And he said, "Sir, what is the secret of your happy married life of 50 years? See, there was an adjective before the married life, happy married life. Happy married life of 50 years. And the microphone was in front of Warren Buffett. Before he could start answering, his wife, she pulled over the microphone and said, "I want to answer this question." There's not a single change of wrinkle on Warren Buffett's face after this action, so 50% of the answer audience got from this. Got it? Now, coming on a serious note, his wife, she said that in our 50 years of married life, there has not been a single day where we, as family, we have not sat together for dinner. And that is at 8. Clap only if you can manage 4 days in a week. Huh? Don't clap. So now who are clapping are managing 4 days at least in a week. Then she said, there has not been a single day that me and my husband, we have not gone out on an evening walk for at least half an hour after our dinner. Absolute couple time. Third thing she said, there has not been a single day where me and my husband, we have not sat together to tuition our children. Then we tuitioned our grandchildren. And today, at the age of 73, 74, we are tuitioning our great-grandchildren. The interviewer was surprised. Why? She said that we want to spend quality and quantity time with our next generation so that we can pass on our family values, our family culture to the next generation. Warren Buffett could find time after $100 billion of investment and being the executive chairman of 63 companies to tuition their children. And you are sending your children to tuition, sirs. That means you are more busy than Warren Buffett, isn't it? I'll be happy to accept that you are more busy than Warren Buffett, but let me also be happy in accepting that you are earning more than Warren Buffett then, instead. Such families has given a thought to this, that this is life. Kumar Mangalam Birla, the chairman of the Aditya Birla Group, it is a 5 lakh crore conglomerate from salt to software. Him and his wife were interviewed by the Times of India. I still have the cutting with me. That how, one of the questions was, that how are you managing your time? You are living in the town, you have 5 invitations for a day, and you have your work time, your office time, your meeting time, your travel time. How are you managing your time? Kumar Mangalam Birla's wife, she said that there is a custom in the Birla house that at 8 p.m. everybody has to deposit their mobile with the mother, including Kumar Mangalam Birla. And the interviewer was surprised, sir, then what do you do after 8 p.m.? When you deposited your mobile with your mother, what do you do? As if life does not exist without a mobile. And that is what has happened with us also, is this generation. So I call this generation as the touchscreen generation. This is called the touchscreen generation. Why? Because every 3rd minute, if consciously or unconsciously, we have a habit to touch our mobile sets, isn't it? Even if in a pocket, you just look at the screen. Is there something? Is there something? Are you a celebrity? Every 3rd minute, consciously or subconsciously, if your hand doesn't touch your handset, you get discharged. You get discharged. We are so much addicted to this. These devices are made to serve us. The reverse has happened. We have become the servants of these devices. Every morning, just introspect. When you get up, before you come out of the bed, what do? You open your social media, WhatsApp, and the rain flows in, and you are happy. 80 chats, 130 messages. 90% of them are good morning flowers. And out of that, you select one good flower of good morning and you push in your group. And if you are a good judge, you will be able to know that after 72 hours, it will come back to you. From Mumbai, it will travel to Chandigarh and then Moscow and London and New York and Nairobi and back to Mumbai after 3 days. And if at all somebody is free in the noontime, he will crop chop something and then he'll send you. It happens. It is a total waste of time. I suggest to all the professionals, open your WhatsApp only 3 times a day for 10 minutes at an interval of 5 to 6 hours. Only then you will not become a slave of it. Otherwise, you will become a slave of it. And you are keeping your mobiles on till 11:30 and 12 and 12:30, and by the time you go to bed, 12:30 or 1 a.m., you just again check, is there something, is there something? Are you expecting a call from the PMO? Forget Geo. Are you expecting a call from the PMO? शायद अगर प्रधानमंत्री जी नरेंद्र मोदी को मेरी कुछ जरूरत पड़ी, मुझे 2G, 3G, 4G, कोल स्कैम, स्पेक्ट्रम के बारे में बहुत मैंने पढ़ा है, बहुत खबर है, तो शायद कोई जेपीसी ज्वाइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी पे मुझे रखना है और पीएमओ में से फोन आया, नरेंद्र जी को मुझसे बात करनी है, और अगर मैं रात को 11:15 फोन नहीं उठा पाए तो देश की बड़ी असेवा हो जाएगी। ये आप समझते हो? आपके जैसे उनके पास 125 करोड़ है, तू सो जा। आपके जैसे पीएमओ के पास, नरेंद्र जी के पास 125 करोड़ है, तू शांति से सो जा। तुझे कभी पीएमओ में से फोन आने वाला? मेंटेन योर वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, otherwise you will regret at the end of your life that certain aspects of life you did not enjoy. This is your family time. Warren Buffett says from 9 to 6, I am a businessman. From 6 to 9, I am a family man. And from 9 to 10:30, I am a spiritual entity. He says his mantra of life, that we feel that we are human beings on a short spiritual journey. No, it is mistaken. We are actually spiritual beings on a very short human journey. Very short human journey. I give you one calculation that it will blow your head. You know, 1/3 of the day you sleep, 8 hours of the day you sleep, yes or no? कोई बोलेंगे नहीं मैं 6 घंटा सोता हूँ, मैं 5 घंटा सोता हूँ, लेकिन average will come to 8 at the end of your life. Because when you were a small baby, you were sleeping 10-12 hours. When you will be an old man, you will sleep 10-12 hours, isn't it? Average will come to 8 hours. 8 hours of your sleep means of the 24 hours that you have in a day, 8 hours you sleep, that is 1/3 of the day you are sleeping, isn't it? That is directly proportional 1/3 of the life you will sleep. Yes or no? So of the 70 years that you live upon this earth, 23 years of your life are going to be in sleep. You don't know whether you exist or not. 23 years of your life are going to be in bed in sleep. You don't know whether you exist or not. Just 90 seconds of brush and you spend 40 days of your life brushing your teeth. Now I'm not giving you the calculation of the amount of time that you spend in front of the mirror. Because when you are in front of the mirror, you are... Now nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. जो बन गया ना उसमें कोई चेंज नहीं होने वाला है. लेकिन every person upon this earth of 7 crore population, when he stands in front of the mirror, he or she or whoever, सबको एक अफसोस होता है अगर 15% यहाँ ठीक हो जाता ना तो मैं कोई वुड में चल जाता. लेकिन वो 15% बाकी रखा है. थिएटर्स कैसे भरेंगे अगर सब स्क्रीन पे चढ़ गए तो? Every person standing in front of the mirror says, if at all I get a chance in Bollywood, I can make it. Geo is better for you. Be here. Deriving an important principle of work life from this, acceptance of everything in your life. Acceptance is life. Why this happened with me? This shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Now it has happened. Now tell me what you want to do. Done is done. It cannot be undone, even if you go to London. Acceptance, adjustment, and compromise is life. For a perfect work-life balance. Adjustment, acceptance, and compromise. Life is these three principles. Nothing happens according to your wish all the times. Does it happen? Especially in your marital life. What happens, what I do, everything happens according to my wish. Happens? Are you very clear about it? Life is adjustments, acceptance, and compromise. You know, there was a couple who completed 50 years of their married life and they were interviewed and somebody asked the question, what is the secret of your happy married life? And the gentleman said, well, it is very simple to have a happy married life. All the important decisions I take. And my wife has to simply say yes and follow. And all the less important decisions my wife takes. And I said, okay, great. See, you all are surprised, isn't it? This is not the way you carry on the show for 50 years. Isn't it? But somebody was again intelligent. He raised his hand and he said, sir, if you don't mind, can you tell the more important decisions that you take and your wife follows and the less important decisions your wife takes and you follow? He said, yes, less important decisions which my wife takes and I have simply to say yes is which house to purchase, which car to purchase, where the children to be sent to schools, what picnic that the family has to go, what to do, what clothes to be worn by whom, what type of relations, what kind of relations, what level of relations to be kept with relatives and friends, interiors, doctor, family doctor. So house, car, work, entertainment, everything, wife decides. And I say yes. Less important decisions of life. Again, surprise. Né? Now, what important decisions are left for the gentleman to take? And the surprise guy, sorry, if you don't mind, can you tell the more important decisions that you take and your wife follows? Hey, very simple. The more important decisions which I take and my wife has to simply follow is whether Afghanistan should be attacked by America or not. And I tell, no, it was a wrong move by America. Then my wife says, okay, you are right. This is your cup of coffee. Whether America should enter Iraq, I say no. My wife says, you are right. They should not. So the more important decisions which have a global effect, I take. And the less important decisions which have a four-wall inside effect, my wife takes. And I go, yes. आप में से कहीं ये principle पे जीते होंगे. This is a small joke apart. What I mean to say, life is compromise, is adjustment, is acceptance. And always tell yourself when you wake up in the morning, today is the day when I will gracefully accept the happenings of my life. Whether good or bad, whether you like it or don't like it. The first important aspect of stabilizing yourself during a fall, a failure, or a setback is acceptance. Accept what has happened in your life. When you accept it, that acceptance becomes a buffer. It does not allow the impact of that happening on your life. That stability will ultimately guide you to get into better decisions, work mode, and behavioral patterns to come out of the problem. Acceptance is important. Then life is an adjustment. You learn from water. You put water in a glass, it takes the shape of a glass. In a bucket, it takes the shape of a bucket. Life is adjustment with near and dear ones. Life is adjustment at your workplace. Adjust, try to adjust, and that will produce a big synergy. I think I will give you a very good book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. How many of you have read it? Quite many of you. He interviewed more than 3,000 successful people upon this earth. Successful not just as businessmen, but successful in all walks of life. As a husband, as a wife, as a brother, as a sister, as a relative, as a neighbor, as a friend. In all roles, successful. He found the 7 habits common. And the 6th habit, which I like very much, and I elaborated much on it during my seminars when I talked to corporates, is synergy. This is the word coined by Stephen Covey himself. We know energy. He prefixed S with it, and that is called synergy. Synergy is that when 2 or more than 2 people, they come together and decide to work together. They might have differences of opinions. Still they come on a CMP, that is Common Minimum Program. They decide to work together, go for the project, do the work together, produce a result, enjoy the fruits of it, and that enjoyment and happiness of success gives them energy to go for another project together. That energy derived from happiness of success together is called synergy. Synergy is, you will get synergy. 1 ounce of synergy is more than 100 ounces of energy. Because it is a energy derived from joy. And what is that joy? The joy of success at workplace, working together. That synergy comes from adjustments, acceptance, and compromises. This is a way of life. And 90% of your life is adjustments, acceptance, and compromises. Present your opinion well. But when it is well discussed, everybody's opinions well discussed, coming to a common minimum program, then give yourself to the CMP. In your family, family events, or at your workplace. Then you will enjoy. When it comes to relationships, enjoying work-life balance, you might be having 500, 1,000, 2,000 names and mobile numbers in your handset. But when you will be in ICU at a hospital, only 3 people will be around you, your wife and 2 children. No FB friend at ICU in hospital. No. So I suggest, and I teach in my seminars, out of the 1,000 or 1,500 mobile numbers that you have in your handset, sit down quietly on a good Sunday and list 25 people. These 25 people are my life. Family members, good friends, colleagues, whatever. At any cost, I don't want to lose these 25 people in my life. For these 25 people, I will never think pluses and minuses, because I have decided to keep them in my life. I have decided that these 25 people are joy to me when it comes to my existence. So that 25 people becomes the joy of your life. It comes to relationship. This is very much important that you pull down to this figure. Otherwise, a vast pull is all scattered and you don't enjoy relationships. And the third and the last aspect of work-life balance is your absolute faith in the existence and the all-doership of God. It's not that because I'm saying that I'm talking of faith in God. Someday if we talk again, I will prove you the existence and the doership of God scientifically and logically. I will accept any kind of questions from you. We have done it in the IITs, in the IIMs, and many places. Because more than 50,000 research papers, survey papers, and experiment papers have been presented in national, international seminars by men of science, not men of religion or philosophy, proving the doership of God. I tell you just one thing. You all working people have experience in life that sometimes you planned a project well, you are executing it well, you have got the best of resources, still you don't get the outcome, the success of your desire and expectation. Yes or no? Yes. Sometimes a little less than that, or sometimes a failure as well. And the reverse also you all have experienced. Sometimes because of time constraints or resources constraints, whatever, you have planned less or you have executed a bit less, below your degree or caliber, and lesser resources, lesser inputs, and still you got success beyond your imagination. Yes or no? Yes. What does this mean? Have you given a deep thought to it? This means that if there are 10 factors affecting the outcome in terms of success of the project, there are other 10 factors which affect negatively the outcome of the project in terms of failure. That means what Lord Krishna has said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna is right. He tells Arjuna, Arjuna, carry out all your duties faithfully, putting all your resources that you have. Results, I will decide. Very clear. And we all have experiences. Sometimes with less of resources, we have succeeded less. And sometimes with lesser of it, you have succeeded more. That means somebody else is deciding the final outcome. That doesn't mean that we don't put in our 100% effort. Again, I repeat. Human endeavor is to put your 100% effort in your project with all the resources that you have. But at the end of the day, not to experience stress, you have to have this understanding, yes, during the whole day, I put my all resources for the final good, successful outcome of the project that I was doing. But at the end of the day, whatever the results, outcome, I accept it gracefully. You will never experience stress, a perfect work-life balance. Pramukh Swami Maharaj was in Vallabh Vidyanagar, and Nattubai Patel, Alicol Engineering Company General Manager, said, he asked Pramukh Swami, that I've been meeting you since 20 years. I've never seen a single wrinkle of tension, of depression, of stress, of tiredness ever on your face. I've seen you in the morning course, I've seen you in the day's happenings, meetings and everything. Pramukh Swami Maharaj used to sit for 2.5 hours of administrative meetings every day till the age of 92. Pramukh Swami said this, that in the morning we pray to God and accept the work that we have to do, and we do it during the whole day, putting all the resources that we have. In the evening, we give it back to God, that I tried my best, now whatever results you want to give it, I will accept it. No tension, no depression, no stress. Stress comes from anyhow, at any cost, I want this result. See, I'm not against deciding goals. At your workplace, goals should be definite and time-bound projects must happen. Only then you progress in life. But at the same time, this understanding, the balance of this understanding that I put my all resources for the success, for meeting deadlines, for time-bound projects, but at the same time I will accept the final result. You wanted 100 million customers in 100 days. The goal, you have to set this goal. Only then everybody works according to that. But okay, the final outcome was 170 days. Accept and go further. Simple.